The Copa America 2024 final has now been decided, with both Argentina and Colombia making the final. So now it's only right that I make my predictions on this amazing game and say who I think will win the Copa America this summer. And trust me, you're gonna want to stay until the end, because I may or may not go with the upset in this video. Let's start this off by talking about the Argentina national team, the first finalists of the 2024 Copa America, and how they made it to this point. Now, Argentina went into the tournament as heavy favorites, and rightfully so. They're the recent Copa America champions back in 2021, and also the recent World Cup winners back in 2022. Plus, they're currently on top of World Cup qualifying, which definitely shows that they're probably the strongest team in South America right now, just based off of wins and results. Now, at the Copa America, Argentina were given a relatively easy group to their high standards, with teams like Canada, Chile, and Peru being in it. And with that, Argentina cruise controlled and dominated the group, getting 3 wins out of 3 games. They beat Canada 2-0 in the opening game, thanks to goals from Julian Alvarez early on in the second half, and then Lautaro Martinez later on. And not gonna lie, it could have easily been more if players like Messi took their chances. But as we can clearly tell, Messi's vacation time in the MLS has been taking a toll. But in this game, there were a few alarm bells ringing. Just a few. Because Argentina were conceding chances to Canada that they would have never conceded before. And these alarm bells would only continue to ring. Because for the majority of the match against Chile, a team that Argentina definitely hates after they won the 2015 Copa America and the 2016 version against them, the game was at a 0-0 stalemate. But thanks to Lautaro Martinez off a corner kick in the 88th minute, Argentina scored a late winner, and due to this 1-0 win, Argentina secured a spot in the quarterfinals. And then against Peru, without Messi by the way, who didn't play in the match due to match fitness and tiredness, Argentina beat them 2-0. So with this, Argentina topped the group with a maximum of 9 points, but these results only papered over the cracks that Argentina did have some weaknesses to them. In terms of they haven't looked as strong as they once were a couple years ago. And this became even more clear in the quarterfinal game against Ecuador, who are no easy team to beat by the way. They did get off to a hot start though, with Lisandro Martinez scoring from a corner to put his side at 1-0. But then surprisingly, Argentina started to struggle a bit, which is what I've been saying this entire video. They don't look as strong as they once did. Anyways, with Argentina's struggles, they gave away a penalty, but luckily for them, Ender Valencia missed from the spot. But then in the 90+1st minute, Kevin Rodriguez from Ecuador scored from a cross and equalized the game right before the full-time whistle. And this meant that the game had to be sent to penalties, since the Copa America doesn't have extra time apart from the final match. Weird, I know, but that's a whole different topic for a different day. But more importantly though, if Ecuador converted their penalty, they would have gone through within the 90 minutes 2-1. And Argentina would be out. Like I said, Argentina have weaknesses now. Additionally, in the penalty shootout, Leo Messi ended up missing from the spot, which 1 is really shocking, but 2, this put the entire team in jeopardy of getting knocked out. But Emiliano Martinez, Argentina's goalkeeper, comes clutch for his country as he usually does, and his penalty saves against Ecuador sends his country through to the semifinals. But this game right here showed that Argentina can get beaten. Then in the semifinal, Argentina had to play Canada. Yes, I know, they already played in the Copa America before, but listen, the Copa America format is a little bit weird, man. Seriously, no, CONMEBOL needs to fix up. Why did these 2 teams have to face off against each other so soon? Anyways, to the actual game, this was probably Argentina's strongest match of the Copa America so far. Besides the first 10 minutes where Canada had a couple of chances, the other 80 minutes was pure domination from the Argentinians. And this reminded me of Argentina at the World Cup or the past Copa America. They just looked really good. And this time too, Argentina scored against Canada in the first half. And it was Julian Alvarez once again in the 22nd minute who put his side up ahead as they probably deserved. Then in the second half, Enzo Fernandez hit a strike that was going in, but Messi actually redirected the ball on the way to the net, so the goal was actually his. But Messi was onside while doing it too, since one of the Canadian defenders back there got caught lacking. And speaking of Canada, Argentina were so good on the night that the Canadians started to get frustrated. So much so that Ismail Kone from Canada hit the ball to the back of Rodrigo de Paul while he was already on the ground, and this started a scrap. But overall, due to some good football, and admittedly some of the dark arts, Argentina have now made consecutive Copa America finals. Well done to them, and it's probably deserved, because like I said, although Argentina does have some liabilities at this tournament, their bracket was just so easy that they had to make the final. No excuses for them, and to be fair, they did just that. Now let's talk about the other 2024 Copa America finalists, Colombia, who are competing for their second ever Copa America title. But before I talk about Colombia's experience at the Copa America this summer, please remember to subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and it means a lot, so thank you. And also, if you guys can, follow my Twitter and my Instagram, both at Nabuto, if you just want to hear my thoughts on football games, transfers, and overall, just to get to know me more. So if you want to, feel free to hit me up with that follow. Thank you. Now, although Argentina were heading into the Copa America as the strongest team from CONMEBOL, Colombia were definitely heading into the Copa America as the most informed team from CONMEBOL. And that's because Colombia have been undefeated across 2 years. In fact, they're currently 28 games undefeated, which is just simply ridiculous. Colombia have been looking so good that some football fans are even saying that this side is better than Colombia's 2014 World Cup side that made it to the quarterfinals. This just shows how good Colombia has been in the past couple of years. And also, this might be important to know, Colombia are currently 3rd place in World Cup qualifying, and they're only 3 points behind 1st, which pretty much means they're on a good path to qualifying for the World Cup, which is something they missed out on back in 2018. Anyways, talking about Colombia's performance favorites at the Copa America, they start off good against pretty tough opponents Paraguay. Their 2 goals in the first half, one from Daniel Munoz in the 32nd minute, and then Jefferson Lerma in the 42nd minute, helped them get over the line against Paraguay, beating them 2-1 and starting off their campaign with 3 points. Then in their second game against Costa Rica, I mean, what did y'all expect? There was no way that Costa Rica were going to pose any sort of challenge against Colombia, with all due respect of course, and Costa Rica ended up getting slapped up 3-0, as everybody thought would happen. Then in the third match against Brazil, in a game that would decide who would finish top spot and not have to face Uruguay in the quarters, Colombia and Brazil ended up drawing 1-1, despite going down 1-0 earlier on in the game. They have Daniel Munoz to thank for that, the Colombian right back who scored for his country in this game, and honestly, he might be Colombia's top 3 players at this tournament. He has been a great attacking threat at the Copa America. Anyways, with Colombia securing the draw and finishing top spot in the group, they had the easier opposition in the quarterfinals, which was Panama. This would have been the United States if we didn't absolutely fumble the bag and get 3rd place in the group. But hey, shout out to Timothy Weah, because his red card against Panama, the game that cost us a knockout round spot since we lost this game, directly correlates to Greg Berhalter's sacking. And listen, we're much better off without him, so fumbling Copa America to fire him was well worth it. But anyways, back to Colombia's game against Panama. I mean, Panama stood no chance, man. James Rodriguez was feeling himself in this game too, and ended up scoring 1 goal and getting 2 assists in this match. Also, Luis Diaz, my Liverpool winger, got himself on the score sheet as well. So with that being said, at the end of the 90, Colombia smoked the living hell out of Panama 5-0. Aside, with all due respect, had no business being at the knockout rounds of the Copa America. But I'm probably being a little salty right now, so let's move on. Let's now talk about Colombia's semi-final clash against Uruguay. And oh boy, this game was filled with so many storylines. More so about what happened after the game than rather what happened during it, but storylines nevertheless. Anyways, in the game, it started off very intense, but eventually in the 39th minute, Colombia broke through thanks to Jefferson Lerma, who scored a header from a corner to put his country up 1-0. But some drama would eventually happen towards the end of the first half, and that's because Daniel Munoz was caught elbowing a Uruguayan player, and this would get him sent off. Like I said before, Daniel Munoz was one of Colombia's best attacking threats this entire summer, so not only did Colombia miss his attacking attributes for the rest of the game, but they're also going to miss him in the final, since he's now suspended for that game. Really stupid move from Daniel Munoz, man. What was he thinking? Anyways, Colombia would start to sit back the entire second half and just defend for their lives, and Uruguay just kept on attacking and creating chances. Eventually though, thanks to Colombia's hard work and tireless defending, the full-time whistle blew and Colombia won 1-0, and now they're going to be playing in their 3rd ever Copa America final for their 2nd ever Copa America trophy. Shout out to Colombia, man. They deserve this. And shout out to the Colombian fans too, especially the females, because well, like I said in the last video, any single Colombian ladies, shout me. Your boy's lonely as hell. I'm not even trolling. Now obviously I can't move on and talk about the final prediction until I go over what happened after the game. Although the final details aren't confirmed, it looks like and sounds like a few drunk Colombian fans started harassing the Uruguayan players' families, which contains some young children, women obviously, and newborns. With this, Uruguayan players lost their heads, and the Colombian fans and Uruguayan players started swinging. Especially Darwin Nunez. That man's head was hot, and he was swinging like crazy. But can you blame him? His family was in the middle of that, and he had to step up and protect them and the other Uruguayan players' families. And Nunez is the guy on the squad that has the dog in him. So of course he had to be the one to step up. He is definitely getting a suspension though. I'm just praying it doesn't affect him at the start of this Premier League season, because Liverpool, we're definitely going to need him. But overall, this was just a terrible situation, and security and organization needs to be better by CONMEBOL and the US. And also, speaking about Liverpool earlier, shout out to Lucho, man. He deserves this. Let's now talk about the Copa America 2024 final that I'm attempting to predict. Argentina versus Colombia. This is going to be one hell of a game, man. I'm so hyped to watch this as a neutral. Even as a Liverpool fan, there's a red on both teams. McAllister's on Argentina and Lucho's on Colombia, so I'm winning regardless. But anyways though, which national team do I got winning in this final? I'm not gonna lie, I was actually heavily favoriting Colombia before the semifinals, but then the matches played, and no cap, Argentina looked very strong against Canada. Granted, Canada isn't as strong of an opponent compared to Uruguay, but still, Argentina looked really good. Plus, Colombia are really gonna miss Daniel Munoz in the final, who is a top 3 best player for Colombia's national team right now, and this is gonna be a huge loss for the Colombians, man. Also, Richard Rios had to come off in the game against Uruguay because of an injury. I think he'll be okay, but if he isn't, that's another huge loss for Colombia. So no cap, I think it's more than likely that Argentina are gonna win this final and win back-to-back Copa Americas. But if Colombia were to win the Copa America, this would be the time, because James Rodriguez is performing out of his mind at his older age, and I don't think he'll ever perform as good or get another chance to win a trophy for his country other than this. So best believe Colombia are gonna give their all in this match no matter what. Plus, they'll probably have home support. Colombia fans have pulled through this summer for real. And also, Shakira is performing at the final. Surely that's gotta be some good luck charm for Colombia, right? Eventually, with that being said, I think Argentina and and Colombia will draw 1-1 throughout the 90, but then in extra time, I got Luis Diaz scoring to put Colombia 2-1 up, and Colombia will win their second ever Copa America. I ain't gonna lie though, this is more about what I would like to see happen rather than what I think will happen, just because Argentina are looking strong once again. But hey Colombia, I'm backing y'all. It may or may not be because of the fans, especially regarding a specific gender, but hey, I got y'all regardless. It's crazy I just said that prediction while wearing an Argentina jersey. But hey Argentina, you guys winning it will be cool too. I don't got no problems. Messi's the GOAT, man. I would love to see him retire from the national team while still being on top. Anyways, I appreciate y'all for watching this video, and let me know who you guys got winning the 2024 Copa America Final in the comments down below. I would love to know what you guys think. Now, if you enjoyed this one, please remember to subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. And please be sure to follow my Twitter and my Instagram. The links are in my YouTube description. And last but not least, if you want to check out another entertaining video that I put out on my channel, you definitely want to check out this video right here. You won't regret it.